Cameras are up. I've been doing it a lot. Why don't you open it?
All right.
I feel like I've been taking too much.
Welcome to episode 14 of Zero Intentions Podcast. I am Jeremiah. This is Kyle. And do you have anything today that you want to start off on? While I adjust my mic.
I mean, I could just we
talked about it right before we turned the cameras on, but I was going to bring up the Tom Holland Hot Ones interview.
Okay.
So I asked you if you had seen that, but
I did, yeah.
You asked me, so
I just watched it today, I think.
Yeah, it came out yesterday. Night. Yeah.
Might have watched it last night.
It was the season 16 finale. So, yeah.
One of the best comments I saw on the YouTube section was Tom Holland says, "I'm a huge fan. I watch it all the time," and yet goes for The Last Wing first.
Exactly.
Trust me, I watch this all the time. And
it makes sense. It was left to right, like you would think. Left to right, start the mildest on the left. Nope, that was the hottest.
I don't know. I feel like I would go always to the farthest right one.
You think so? Yeah?
Maybe because I watch it a lot, though.
Huh.
I'm not sure.
I mean, they have the sauces right in front of them, so, but...
Yeah. I like how he took 2 bites out of everyone.
Right.
Even though he's struggling.
For it. Yeah, exactly.
And I did see a comment, so it's not...
Because he wanted to give it a fair shake. He's like, I didn't really get much on that one. I'm going in again. Yeah. Like, yeah, good for you.
Not my thought, but a comment I saw in there was... good on the show for not trying to get any spoilers out of him.
Right? Yeah.
Because Tom Holland
especially
is known
how he
for
mentioned,
dropping.
like you could ask me anything, and I you'd get me.
Right? Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's just normal. Like,
for you.
So add on spicy wings, and now you're in trouble.
I did see clips of Jimmy Fallon, I think, where they had Haley Steinfeld, who is in Hawkeye now. They had her on.
Oh, yeah?
And Jimmy Fallon was like, it'd be crazy if Spider-Man was on Hawkeye, right? And she starts laughing. She goes, yeah. He's like, that would be crazy, wouldn't it? And like, she's just laughing, not giving into it. And he's like, okay. It would be crazy if you were in Spider-Verse, right? She's like, yeah, I voiced the character. He's like, it'd be crazy if that character was in this, right? And she's like, I guess. I don't even know that happened. He's like, how would that happen if it were going to happen? And she's not letting it.
That.
And he's like, I'm trying to get something out of you if you don't see what I'm doing here. I'm trying to get you to get in trouble.
Right?
That's what they want to do.
Yeah. Tom's already set the precedent. You can spoil things.
My favorite is Mark Ruffalo. Have you seen any of his interviews? This was a while ago, but he's like, oh, this next movie is crazy. He's like, everybody dies.
Yeah.
and then they hit him in the shoulder, and he's like, like half of everybody dies. And
it's made it worse.
Yeah. So great. Like, he has no idea that he's split. And it's probably hard because you're just talking to insiders. So you're just becomes a conversation for you. And you're like, exactly. I don't actually know what I can or can't say.
Right. Yeah.
I watched Steve-O has a podcast.
Yeah.
I watch only when I like a guest, but he had Frankie Muniz on from Malcolm in the Middle.
Right.
And I guess he's got some movies coming out, and he's getting back into race car driving.
Is he really?
Which I guess he did when he was younger.
Yes.
I didn't know that. And then he got in a horrible crash, and then wasn't really doing anything. But he's getting back into it. But when he's talking about this, he's like, I don't know how much I can say because I don't know what's released yet.
Yeah, well, that crash, messed him up pretty bad.
Yes,
so.
But he did clarify all the rumors of people saying that he has brain injuries and stuff where he can't remember Malcolm in the Middle. It's not true. It all came about, I guess, on one show he was on where he said, well, I can't really remember. And he explains what he meant. He's like, a lot happened in a short amount of time. And they ask him specific questions.
Remember,
and he's like, I can't remember specifically.
That time of your life, when you were that old.
Yeah.
Even if you were working on a show, it's just normal for someone, if that's your job, your life.
Yeah.
Just normal. You're not thinking, oh, I'm doing something that people are going to remember forever, so I better remember it myself too.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm just doing my job.
Well, you got someone in the chat.
They showed up.
Yeah, no, they're talking.
Are they really?
Yeah. Hi, bro. How you two doing? This is from King Ken Tank.
Yeah.
No, you don't know?
Not familiar to me. No.
Okay. Sorry, King Ken Tank. Can you see it? Can you open your chat there?
Let me see. Oh yeah, there he is.
We're doing good. If we know you IRL, sorry, I don't know your screen.
Yeah, no need to reveal if you want to.
You don't have to dox yourself.
Exactly.
You don't have to dox yourself.
But yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for
coming to the chat.
Checking in. Yeah.
If you want to join in the conversation, I'll be looking for you now, and I'll get back to talking about what were we Where was I just at?
Uh,
Frankie Muniz.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so doing that thing where you're just like, it'd be so hard to remember what you can and can't say in a situation like that. Like,
Sure, yeah.
there's so many contracts that you're probably not involved at all in.
Right.
And you're just like, well, I'm in a movie. I think I can say I'm in a movie coming up.
Right.
So, we're going to have some loudness as the rest of the family comes home. I did have a subject I wanted to touch on.
Okay.
I watched a short documentary. I don't know. It's like 12 minutes on YouTube about the SR-71
Yeah.
plane.
Okay.
There's one in our state.
Is there?
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
It's like an hour and a half away.
Really?
I really want to go see it.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It's very cool.
And that's not very far,
No, not to go see a plane like that.
right?
Do you know?
Can you go see it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's in an air museum.
Okay.
Do you know how fast it is?
No.
Just guess.
Off the top of my head.
Just throw a number out there.
I don't know. Mach 6.
Give me like a mile per hour.
Mile per hour. I don't know. I'm gonna reveal my ignorance on how fast a Mach is. I already threw that out.
I don't know what a Mach is either.
So we'll just go based on the number 6. Say 600 miles per hour.
600 miles.
Yeah.
All right. It goes.
Which don't airplane.
Yeah, they
airliners
can.
do.
They
Yeah.
can. But that's not their
So-
cruising speed. I'm talking.
Okay.
This is its cruising speed.
Cruising speed.
You're saying 600?
Well, it's got to be more than that. Got to be more than that.
Well, so commercial probably cruises at 4. I would
Yeah?
say 400. So you want to throw another number out there?
10 million.
10 million.
Okay, that's too much.
That's
No.
way too much. You want me to just tell you?
Sure. Yeah.
It's 36 miles per second.
Wow.
Wow is right.
Holy cow.
That's like 5,400 miles per hour.
Huh.
That's moving.
Yeah.
It does 220 on the runway.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
No way. Man,
Yes.
that's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
Imagine like you take off and you're like, I left my phone. Oh, sorry, next country over. Like,
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do about
I know,
it.
like I can't even imagine like how fast going 200 miles an hour in a car is. I've never approached that. Like
Never approached?
no. Not over. I've not gotten like maybe dipped a little over 100, but that's about it.
Really?
Like I've never gone, faster than that.
In
Yeah.
Mexico, hypothetically,
Mhm.
it did about $170 something.
Yeah.
In your cousin's car.
Oh yeah.
No, this is different speed.
Oh.
In your cousin's car, hypothetically, $180.
Yeah.
And then in Travis's Corvette, I couldn't even see. It's I have no idea.
Don't even glance down. Yeah.
It's just too hard to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, 200 is a goal of mine, like a life goal. I've always wanted to do 200 in a car.
Yeah.
But compared to 36 miles a second, they ask a pilot, they're like, how is it flying it? He's like, it changes your life
I
thinking.
bet.
He's like, you really need to think ahead.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, man, you think
Right.
36 miles a second,
try-
you would really have to know
Try
where you're
playing
going.
Guitar Hero on Expert, and you'll start understand what thinking ahead means.
Right? I don't even. And then they interview one of the generals back when it was in commission, the plane, and he goes, "Yeah, we never flew it over China or Russia, just the perimeter." And I was like, "Yeah, sure you didn't. Sure you didn't. Its cruising
sure.
altitude is 80,000
When I meant
miles."
perimeter, I meant from the left side to the right side, like that.
Right?
Like, they didn't even notice.
Yeah, I mean, it's your 80,000 feet cruising speed or
Yeah.
cruising altitude,
Uh-huh.
and you're doing 5,000 miles an hour. Nothing's gonna see you.
Right.
Why are we still holding on to the lie that
Yeah.
we never flew over them?
Sure.
And
They
reveal
they're
why
cranky. That's why.
they reveal why they created it. It's because the B-52 bomber was shot down.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of like building better planes, they're like, let's just build something faster than missiles.
Right.
If they can't shoot us, then
Yeah.
we're good.
Yeah.
So that led me to think, man, it's been I think the 70s is when that plane was inactive. What do we have now?
Exactly.
Because we talked about this last time.
Well, we've talked about the fact that
or did satellites replace that? Maybe we don't need a plane that does that.
it's true. Yeah.
I don't know.
Satellites do take a lot of the work now.
But I feel like the government
spy
has a
planes used
big,
to.
swinging complex here.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I feel like we have something better somewhere.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was secret for years.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what we're flying now? Yep. So that plane is awesome. It's all titanium. It leaks a ton of fluids because, did you know that?
Yeah.
So it leaks a ton of fluids because all the panels have huge gaps.
Yes.
Because when
right.
you're flying so fast and high, they all close up.
Mm.
Nuts.
Right.
And the engineers were smart enough to the fuel that's in it is also the coolant and the oil. It just all runs together, to cool everything. And it didn't run on no computers. It ran on actually like Mylar paper with punches in it for data.
Oh yeah.
Because normal paper, they were worried would just spontaneously combust going that fast and that high. So man, I'd probably get sick in one of those or pass out immediately.
Yeah.
I forget what they said because the takeoff is like 4 seconds or something. Because you take the brakes off and just light the igniter. It basically, just shoots off. So they'd be like, all right, we're going to launch in 3, 2, like.
Yep, strapping yourself to a rocket. Yeah.
2 rockets. Just 2 giant rockets. So, yeah, that was all I want to talk about. I thought just
I've
crazy.
seen some really impressive, like, pilot training and, astronaut training of like they got the video on them when they're doing the
spinning thing.
Yeah.
You're not talking about Rocket Man, right? Faster.
It's funny,
faster.
Yes. That always is the first thing I think of. But no, I've seen like some actual like pilots.
It's weird how their face distorts while they just look like they're going
a completely different person.
Yeah.
And just having to focus on your breathing. Hold, take a breath. Hold.
Yeah, because if you hold too much, you're gonna pass out.
Right.
And then if you don't breathe,
you're
gonna pass out. So you have to like control that.
Right.
Yeah, they look so weird. It looks like faces of meth. Like their face is just super tight and skinny. Weight loss 101. Just spin around at 10 Gs. Yep. Or however many Gs.
It's like Homer pinning all your fat behind you. Yeah.
That meme's huge in the car community. It's like people saying my car is sexy, and then like all the back clips is like broken exhaust, check engine light. Like
Yep.
eBay turbo
Any
kit.
type of cord management. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
If I can't see it, it's managed.
Yeah, so I mean even on our podcast, I mean there's cords everywhere.
Yeah.
Just right below your view.
Just outside of view. Yep.
You can't see it.
The floor is covered.
And this is not
snakes.
This is not a studio per se. This is my gaming room.
Right.
So they don't know, and you might not, but before you got here, and this is my table for gaming. All of the drinks and cups are now just right there. they're just right there.
Yes, I saw that one moved from down here over there. So there you go.
That hasn't moved since I moved it.
Oh, okay.
Laziness. I haven't had a lot of time to game this week.
I was telling someone that I set up a remote desktop to do like some login stuff on my computer from the other side of the room, 10 feet away. I'm like, get up and walk.
So why?
But no,
why did you do it?
Because I was playing Ratchet and Clank, other side of the room, and I'm waiting to log in to Final Fantasy. And but
so
since the queues are so large right now, and there's kind of errors that are happening, it's been crashing.
Oh.
So rather than get up and restart it, I just pull it up on my phone and log in there, go back to playing, and let it run. And
I heard Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, did an update, and it essentially broke the game. You can't even play it.
I heard that too. Yeah.
So I don't know. I really liked Modern Warfare. Fantastic online play. Loved the campaign. But then when Cold War came out, I just got it because friends and family were playing it. So I never went back. But I guess a ton of people stood and played Modern Warfare and didn't move to Cold War.
Yeah.
Yes, and our fan has left, I believe.
Oh, that was it.
And if you didn't leave, I apologize. Let's see if I can see him.
I think my favorite Call of Duty was...
There are other people in the chat, but not chatting. Abbott, Costello, and Deltox. If you guys want to jump in and chat, someone already did. We would have conversed with him or her.
I have they call them free companies, Final Fantasy, and even though it's just that small group of people, like the whole game is not going to see this, I still am nervous about actually talking to people online. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, I have lately just because everyone's talking a lot and we're all excited, but.
I like this. I'll talk to any strangers because if I don't like you, you're just poof. I'll just kick you right out. It's full control. It's like, yes, peasants, you may participate. And then if you don't like it, it's Emperor's New Groove 'em right out the door, down the hill. So.
Yeah, I definitely still, struggle with a lot of spending so much of my life as an introvert that, stuff like that. Just chatting online is difficult for me.
That's scarier for me. So when I play online games,
Mm-hmm.
I turn chat. Like, I don't even hear people.
Yeah.
Like, I turn them off my headphones. I just want to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm sitting in line for the bus or for food, like, I have no problem talking to the guy next to me.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Which is weird. But I won't talk
am-
to the stranger online.
I am very chatty in the grocery store.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's
Very
my
chatty.
thing. It's
Yep.
So
Yeah.
Joy's like, yo, you're a total extrovert. I'm like, I don't want new friends.
Right.
I don't want to meet new people. I'm just
Yeah.
that's my passing the time. I'm like,
Sure.
we're both standing here. I might
Yeah.
as well talk to you.
Right. I was just like waiting for a coffee at Starbucks last week, and they're really busy, so I just start talking to the lady next to me.
It makes it
Yeah.
easier. I like
Right.
that better than staring at my phone.
Yeah.
I mean, I've shared the conversation. That's how I met the guy.
Which
with
is funny because, like I said, for most of my life, self-described introvert, and yet stuff like that, it's like an introvert would never do.
Right.
It's like a true introvert. Like there are tons of people like me that call themselves introverts. That are actually very good socially and talk to people.
You're cutting out.
Am I really?
You are.
Oh, great.
I mean, we can tell what you're saying through the
Mhm.
headphones because mine's still on. I need to change your gate. I don't know if it's because you're getting away from the microphone, so I apologize.
I'm moving a lot around. I can't talk now.
Yeah, because even your
Mess me up.
laugh.
I'm moving a lot.
Let me change your gate.
Okay.
Live people.
Live troubleshooting.
We need to. Let's put it there. Close. Oh. Big brain energy.
Yeah.
Do I want the close threshold to be higher or lower?
Wish I could tell you.
So
I would think it would be lower, but
it's closing at negative 75 decibels.
yeah.
So if I make it close at 65, will it close sooner?
Yeah.
It will?
Yes.
So
I would think.
no, because it's closing. I don't know. It's weird to think about because it could go either way in my head. Let me look online, folks, while we talk. You can keep going about whatever conversation.
All right.
I can, on the fly, change your gate.
Okay.
I've already changed your open threshold to lower, so
Okay.
we'll open, obviously, sooner.
All right. I think it's like I should have, like, since I'm looking, more this way, I should have the mic, directly in front of me.
You should, because you are looking.
I should be looking in, this way with the way it's set up. But I'm kind of talking crossways.
That's the problem,
into
I
it.
think, because I'm talking right into mine.
Yeah.
And I have no problems.
Right? Yeah.
Let's just go with that. I changed all your settings.
Okay.
All the work we did, I just said no.
All right. I'm just going to pretend you're over here and talk to you over here.
Well, why don't we put that table on this side?
I don't know why we didn't, but I think the original thought is that if I had the mic over here, I'd be looking away from the camera the whole time. And
That thought was wrong.
I don't know.
Wrong thought.
Yeah.
I mean, we could probably clamp it right onto the table, so it's
I
right
feel
in front of you.
Like if I sat on this side of the couch, it'd probably be better as well. Like, so.
You think?
Well, it would be because I'd be looking at you this way towards the camera.
You stay where you're comfortable.
I'm good. I don't, whatever.
You do. It's not for the people. This is for us.
It is true. There are no people.
Now, see,
No people.
I just cut out there too. I don't think it's our gates. I don't know what it is, because we just went into delay mode right there.
Yeah.
I just need a new computer, maybe. It's too old.
It is. Yep. I think that has a lot to do with it, honestly, just because,
It's a lot.
yeah, it's a lot for something like this to handle.
I think my microphone is worth more than my computer at this point in time.
Probably. Yeah.
I think so.
I would say
just the microphone.
Yeah.
I don't remember. How much are Scarletts right now?
I don't remember.
Are they 100?
Something like maybe, is it 200? 100? 200? No, I think it's 100.
It's 100?
I want to say it's 100.
Microphone's
Yes.
250 to 300,
Right?
depending on if you get it on sale.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely more than my
Right.
T410, which is pretty old.
Mm-hmm.
Good RAM, solid state drive, just processor is
Right.
shite.
Yeah, that's why I was looking for a deal on Cyber Monday, Black Friday, but like I said, having not using it daily
Right.
would be, it's like, why
I'll
am I
get a
dumping
better
that much
laptop
money?
eventually.
So-
Would you guys stop crypto farming? Like, let my chips come back down.
Someone messaged me today about that, asking me, he wanted my opinion or to know if crypto Bitcoin miners are the same as some organization or create something in Mass Effect, which I never played, so I don't know. But Keeper of the Citadel or something like that. Keepers of the Citadel. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I told him, I'm like, I don't really know a ton about Bitcoin mining. So
I mean,
as far
it's
as like how that,
it's a very simple thing. I mean, you're just basically on a base level, your computer is just doing math problems.
right? Yeah.
It's what it's doing.
Yep. Exactly. That's what I told him. As far as I understand, that's what it is. It's it's they're trying to solve the next hash.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
And it has to be less than the previous hash, which is why that takes so many calculations. Is because
and that's why you need a good graphics card.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, and I'll tell to anyone who's gonna watch this, who's watching this now, you're too late. It's not worth it.
Absolutely.
Don't mine.
Yeah.
There's no reason to mine.
Yes.
The only way
you cannot get into it as an individual right now and ever hope to compete.
Not Bitcoin for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to mine other cryptos,
yeah,
you're not going to be getting rich.
No.
Unless you hold all the coins you make. So one computer is not going to get you anywhere.
Right.
Most of these people, even people I know personally, they have like 7 to 20 micro machines that are just made for mining. And their electricity is huge.
Yeah.
The heat is huge.
Mm-hmm.
One of the guys I don't know personally, we're friends on Facebook through cars. He rented an apartment just to run his mining machines. And it's not just plug and go. I mean, he's constantly updating things. They have problems. If your software you're using crashes and you don't catch it right away, now you're just losing money because your machines are still running.
Mm-hmm.
It's rough. I mean, you can make money. He has a day job, so it's not like he's quitting his job.
Right.
But you're too late for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Go back to 2011 if you want to become a millionaire. That's what any crypto you see that's in the news, it's too late. Any stock you see in the news, too late.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we're stuck in an AMC, GameStop kind of thing where you haven't really hit. So it's just a crapshoot. It could happen. It could not. But if you're seeing online, oh, you need to get into this stock, like what they did to Dogecoin.
Yes.
When Elon Musk talks about it, you're way too late.
Right.
And he did exactly what I said he was going to do. Talk about it. Stock goes up. He sells all his.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he was doing.
Yeah.
He wanted you guys all to invest so he could unload and make all that money. Very smart. Technically, not really illegal because crypto's not governed.
It's not regulated yet. Yep. Which is why they're freaking out and they want to regulate it because they're like,
well, banks buy it now and stuff.
They do. Yep. But there was, like a point in time, it's like the Wild West, and they're like, we don't have anything to do with this, and it scares us, and it frustrates us too that we're not making money and other people are. Like this is not how this works. Like we make the money, you don't. That's the arrangement.
Well, that's the whole GameStop AMC thing.
Yeah.
Traders are like, you shouldn't be able to do this at home on an app.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to make money.
Mm-hmm.
This is just for us.
Right.
Us guys here at Wall Street. You know that they were stretching to get rid of crypto when they're like, crypto is only used for criminal activity. Like, they're just...
Right. Yeah. When it first came on the scene, absolutely. Like, that's the reputation it had. Like, there was no, like, legitimate application for it.
No, and
it started to.
It wasn't just that, though, because people that were really geeky were into it. To say you had this currency that you could be worth whatever you wanted. Well, I remember learning about cloning in probably high school, and people are like, man, it'd be so sweet to, like, clone my friend or clone my dog. It's like, you don't understand. Clone does not act exactly like...
Sure.
It's just a replica. Unless it's raised 100% with the same experiences, it's going to be different.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is why that whole craze of people, like really rich people cloning their animals, it's like it's never going to be the same.
Right. Yeah.
It won't be the physically,
Genetically the same. Yep.
exactly the same.
Sure.
But as we know,
Yeah.
that's not what makes someone.
Right.
You can have an exact copy, and it's not the same.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, for a long time, people were trying to argue, nature versus nurture as if it was either
One
or.
or the other.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not. It's both.
Yeah, it can't be one or the other.
Yeah.
Because you've seen it, both ways, and they've done tests where twins get separated and go from a rich family or a poor family or different parts of the world, and they're obviously not the same.
Right.
It can't be.
Yeah.
It's just not possible.
Right.
Which there was a crazy documentary me and Joy watched a few years ago about an orphanage that was doing that on purpose. They were like splitting up twins and doing studies. It's crazy.
Yeah.
They couldn't get to the root of it, even in this documentary. And I looked it up, occasionally after, and they seal documents. They have some federal funding, and you can't find out why they're federally. It's very weird.
Right.
Happening in the U.S.
Yeah, there's some creepy stuff about that. Like when they don't know they have a twin, like they develop this weird psychosis.
That's how this was. They didn't know they had a twin, and then they found out, so they went to the orphanage to figure it out, and then they realized this had happened to a lot of sets of twins, where they were specifically split up for and they all became friends. There was 7 sets of twins or something.
Wow.
See if I can look it up, because man, people, to all 10,000 viewers, you should be doing this, and then
look it up for us,
throwing it in there.
Pull that up, Jamie.
I've seen that video. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's the really awful, downside to our modern science, is that a lot of it is based on
very easy,
very, very terrible and horrible experiments that we, would rightfully condemn now as being absolutely, inhumane. But, we wouldn't know, the knowledge that we have without having done that.
Let me see here. So the documentary, I don't know if this is the one I call. It's called The Twinning Reaction. That goes to help this one guy. He knew he was adopted, but didn't know he was a twin. But they ended up finding, a lot more people that this had happened to, and placed in different families. But the one specific guy had a really poor family, and his twin was in a really rich family. And you see that happening to a lot of different twins coming out of this one agency that wouldn't even give the family members the laws, because they said you have to fight it through the New York courts and stuff.
Wow.
So they try very hard to hide. I'm not saying they're Nazis, but what I am saying is anytime you put some kind of weird veil over it and you're hiding something, makes you wonder why you're hiding it so hard.
Exactly.
And why it's happening to so many.
And they'll claim they don't want to contaminate the data or whatever,
Well, what's even weird is, you're not supposed to do that. You're not even supposed to be doing data.
Yeah.
It's very...
Oh, I mean, that's the thing. It's I can think of several, examples that I won't go into because they're very highly politically charged, where these people that they're doing things related to science that they know are wrong and illegal, both legally and morally. Yeah. And yet, they do them anyway because they're like, well, we're making money, so whatever. Right. And then you go to to expose that, and you're treated like a criminal for exposing it. And it's like, no, they're the ones breaking the law. It's like, well, you broke the law telling us that they broke the law.
It's the whole Snowden thing. Yeah. I don't care what you see politically, and I see all views. Snowden should not be sitting in Russia right now.
Right.
No one in this world would know to cover up your stupid little cameras on your computer if it weren't for Edward Snowden. Right. And yeah, he might have, in the process, accidentally released other things that were confidential. This guy was not out to, take down the U.S. government. He's not a criminal. He was trying to let the public know that, hey, what's going on here is really, really wrong.
And yet, we have people who are selling out this country. Right. Who are leaders,
Yeah.
And then we're fine with that. We're like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, we know that they're screwing us over, but
that's the thing with Snowden stuff. Like he tells everyone, and majority of the population's like, okay, so it's like, how do you not see? And we've moved from there to Facebook, where people are just okay. They're like, yeah, sure, take my data. That's fine. Yeah. I like to click these pictures.
Yeah.
Take my data. I don't need it.
Right.
So maybe right now it doesn't seem like a big deal, but for the future, huge implications.
Sure. Especially, if we, do the absolute dumbest and foolish thing we possibly could do and copy Chinese, social credit score, thing.
Yeah.
But that is like dream scenario for politicians. Like they want that. They want it so bad. And
to have that?
Yes.
Well, that's full control.
Yes.
We shouldn't copy anything China does. They're strict control over everyone.
But they're like, we will never be out of power if we can have this.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Black Mirror made an episode on that.
Mm-hmm.
Black Mirror's. You haven't seen Black Mirror.
I haven't, no.
You gotta start watching some of those. They're good.
Yeah.
It's not good. I've seen that.
It boggles my mind that, we, have leaders who, of this country, who are basically pushing and calling for authoritarianism. It's like, you do realize that's evil, right? Like, no, it's not. Like, it's a good thing. It's like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and that's what.
No matter how much you try and tie it to, like, oh, it's for the public good. It's like every single fascist regime started by telling the public it's for your own good. Like, that's how it happens. Like, no one's gonna come out and say, "Hey, we're just gonna kill you all and subjugate you. Is that okay with you? All right, let's move forward." It's like, no, they don't start there.
Well, just think about if you're getting robbed. It's like, it's for your own good. You give me your wallet.
Sure.
For your safety.
Yes.
You should give me your wallet. Right.
It's to keep you alive. Give me everything you have. Yeah.
Have you ever done one of those 23andMe type scenarios?
I haven't. No.
So I've seen that in the releases you signed to do that, they claim the rights to your DNA, which isn't big right now. Yeah. Same with not only
I have
Apple,
heard that goes into a vault, a repository.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That would be creepy.
It does.
But Apple,
as far as like your genetic code, I heard that someone who's really big on genealogy and DNA and all that kind of stuff is actually the Mormons. Like, they actually have like the largest database
collection.
Yeah, of DNA and genetic code and
kind of good for science.
Stuff.
I mean, if one day population gets wiped out, if you have that, you could build back. Same reason we have a vault full of books and seeds and plant matter.
Yeah.
But where I was getting at is Facebook and Instagram and Apple. Facebook, Instagram, they're all the same. Everyone uses Touch ID.
I don't.
When you do that, it says you sign off on them having full access to your biometric data and owning it.
Right.
Which isn't huge right now.
Yeah.
But one day, what if everything requires a fingerprint?
Sure.
They own that now.
Yeah.
That is theirs. That fingerprint you put in your phone is now theirs.
Right.
It's creepy.
Yeah.
I don't know what they want to do with it.
Exactly. Because, like, for us, they're like, to your point, we don't use it, so we can't imagine there being an application to where you want to retain that right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's weird. Now you're getting into, that might not hold up. Like, yeah, you're agreeing to that, but who's to say if it was really you?
Yeah, if you found a good lawyer, then they could argue that they didn't understand the implications of what this could lead to.
Right.
So they agreed to it with their current understanding of current society. Then new things came out.
Yeah.
That you agreed to previously that you claim is applicable to new technology, new scenario.
Right. So it doesn't work.
Right.
And another thing a lot of people probably don't know, if your work makes you sign an NDA or a non-compete, non-competes are almost always not enforceable.
Sure.
Almost always.
Yeah.
They can't do anything about it. So my house, for anyone watching, Jeremiah knows, is it's like a bi-level, I guess. You come into the house, you can go up 6 stairs to the top floor or down 6 stairs. On the balcony, or the top floor, we have a cat tower, and my old cat was sitting on top of that, and my little cat pushed him off all the way down to the floor.
Whoa.
So
seriously?
Like 30-foot drop.
Wow.
Yeah, just pushed him right off. So he seems fine. I checked on him. I had to pick him up to make him walk, but seems all right. He's a little shook up, but I mean, he's 14, so it's hard to tell. But it doesn't look like he broke his feet.
Huh.
I don't know. It's crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah. She's wilding out right now. I mean, she passed, and I doubt she knew that she was shoving him off a 30-foot cliff.
Sure.
She was just trying to play with him, and he doesn't like to play, but
right.
Crazy. He seems fine. So sorry about anyone who had to witness whatever Jeremiah went through. I'll go back and watch it later.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, if you want to leave me,
you need to cut that whole section out.
You can on YouTube. I'm fine with that.
I might have to because that was rough.
Was it rough?
That was rough. Yeah.
All right, let's.
Well, I didn't feel like I didn't want to just continue talking about the topic by myself.
All right, so let's stop it right here.
Do we need to?
We're back.
Do we need to? Do we need to break? Do we need to cut it early and make sure Ozzy's all right?
No, it's all right.
Okay.
It's for the fans. For the fans. No, he's all right. I mean, he's a grumpy old cat. I'm not going to be able to do anything, If he was showing signs of, I'm not going to sit there and wait for him to show signs of serious pain. If something occurs, I'll drive him to the vet tonight.
Yeah.
But as of right now, he wasn't meowing or when I picked him up, set him on the bed, and he ran over and went to his place and seemed fine. So unless something happens, there's no reason to break.
Right.
The show must go on. I can hear Joy trying to give him treats now.
Yeah. Yep.
So cats are usually fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think cats can do like 70-foot drops.
Yeah, well, they never reach terminal velocity, so.
Is that why?
Yes.
Did you know squirrels can survive terminal velocity?
Oh yeah. Wow.
So you can drop a squirrel from any height because they survive their own terminal velocity, which means that a fall from a tree versus a fall from outer space doesn't matter to a squirrel. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Yeah, that's why you can see squirrels just leap off into anything because their tail kind of controls where they're going to go, and if they can survive terminal velocity, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
So who cares how tall they are?
I've seen some squirrels. They must have gotten run over though because they're laying in the middle of the road, and with a tree right over them.
See, this is nuts. In front of me, I saw a squirrel fall out of a tree to the middle of the road, try to get back up, and then get hit by a car. It was like one of the saddest things I've seen, man. It was rough.
You didn't swerve?
I didn't hit him.
Oh.
Other lane hit him. So it wasn't me.
That was the joke.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't swerve to hit him?
No, to miss him.
Oh, so
You said you saw a car hit him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was the one driving.
I hit a possum or something. It was, I don't know, whatever it was, super cute on the highway.
Oh, wow.
Doing like 80.
So that bounced a couple times then.
I don't know. I started tearing up like immediately. Like I felt so bad that I was the only car and it just ran in front of me.
I hit a pretty beefy raccoon.
It could have been a wreck, and I don't know. I mean, it cracked my front splitter. It's still cracked on the car.
Yeah.
But Joy thought, she was like, "Oh, is your car okay?" I'm like, "That is not why I'm concerned. Like, I mean, I just obliterated that animal.
Right.
Like that's what I care about. My car can be fixed. It's not a big deal.
Right.
It's like that animal.
You're not supposed to run to the car as I'm passing. Like
I've hit, probably 5 or 6 birds with that car.
Really?
Birds.
Wow.
I have no idea why. Big black car with giant for some reason, and they would always swoop in front of me. It was nuts. I've hit so many birds, and I didn't even know birds. You can fly anywhere. What are you doing getting hit by a car? I don't drive a giant truck. Like it's a pretty low car.
Yeah,
why are you getting hit by a car?
Right.
Nuts. I even hit a raven.
Wow.
It was big. It went. Its head went through the grill. I have holes in the grill, and it was just stuck.
Yeah. Was it all right?
No.
Oh.
No, it was not all right.
I've seen birds that, there's that hit that's stuck in the grill and they just pull it out and
it's crazy.
Goes back to whatever it was doing.
You want to hear a real gruesome story? I don't even know if we should go into it.
Oh
because
man.
it's human. Should we go into it?
Oh, I've seen some stuff, man. We talked about that.
Well, this is just related to what we're talking about you pulling them out.
Yeah.
Do we go into it? All right.
This is an adult podcast.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Despite the appearance of a midget.
Yes.
But,
so.
I mean, no, that's offensive.
I could talk about little people, midgets, whatever you want. For when I was little, I had a fascination. Like, I just wanted to be friends with them all. My parents would have to remove me from stores.
Oh yeah.
To me, younger was a crazy phenomenon.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
It's funny because looking back, it never really it was never odd to me. It was never.
So it wasn't odd to me.
Yeah.
I know.
But it was never something I didn't have that fascination that you did.
It was weird. Weird fascination.
Huh.
I just was. I don't want to say proud because it makes me sound like I'm talking down. But we had a few little people. Mitch, I don't know what you like to be called. I'm not sure what the.
Well,
I don't care.
I'm pretty sure now that they consider midget to be a slur, so we can't.
So I don't care. I don't care what politics says. I don't care what
dwarf. I think it depends on what the there's different there's different types of dwarfism, and so whether you're called dwarf.
Well, it's low. It's like 4 foot
little person,
4'10" or 5'1". It's really small for women.
Yeah.
And I had a girl on our cross country team who was in a car accident that stunted her growth.
Oh yeah.
At that level, so technically not dwarfism, but she's not going to get any taller.
Huh.
So anyway, yeah, one was on the track team, and it was just so amazing that you would keep going. At a full disadvantage, you're still not doing, but you're still living your life. That was awesome to me. I have no idea where we're going right before the
graphic.
my graphic story.
Yes.
So there was a motorcycle driving way too fast in a semi. I say cut off the motorcycle, but you can't really see a motorcycle going fast.
Yeah.
He slammed into the back of it, and his head went through the sheet metal of the back of it and was just being dragged by his neck on the sheet metal under his helmet, just dragged by his feet.
Wow.
And I can't say for sure that he survived. It happened here in Michigan.
Yeah.
I don't remember if he survived or not, but if
That'd
he
rough.
didn't or did, imagine the thoughts going through your head. I mean, you're bleeding from your neck as you're just being held up.
Right.
Driving, and you're probably just seeing pitch blackness.
Right.
Because there's probably no light on the inside of this trailer.
Right.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We have crazy drivers in Michigan.
Sure. I mean, my dad has claimed he came across in a motorcycle accident right after it happened. Well, shouldn't say right after because the first responders were there, but they were still looking for his head. So it was
bad. Yeah.
Soon enough after it that they hadn't cleared the scene and gotten it taken care of. But my
dad and mom both in crazy accidents, but my mom saw one. That was one of a guy running away of a car on fire, and then my dad saw one where the guy got in a wreck in front of him, and by the time my dad stopped, he was running down the road to drag his axle back to his car. He was just in such shock that it happened. And my dad's like, "What are you? Stop!" But when you're in shock, you don't know what you're doing.
Right. Yeah.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
You're just like, "Oh, these are my parts. I have to collect my parts."
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Right?
I mean, my motorcycle accident, I was in shock. Cars zooming around me, and they're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm just going to walk away."
Right? Yeah.
Not fine, but you think in the moment. I mean, I don't know if it's embarrassment that kicks into your brain and adrenaline, but I just stood up and was like, "No, everything's fine. I'll just continue on. Don't worry about me."
Sure. Yeah.
Your brain's not telling you "Hey," it's not Tony Stark scan where it's like, "This is broken. This is broken.
Right.
Sit down, please."
Yes.
So you just don't realize.
Someone was telling me they were in a motorcycle accident and their brake line, they had to pull it out of their knee.
Really?
Yep. Didn't hurt, doing that. But then you start walking and then it starts hurting and you're oh man, I can't walk.
I stood up fine and it was in an intersection, so there's cars going around me because they don't know what's happening, so they're just going around the cars that are parked and they're driving. Right. And someone pulled over and rolled down their window. I was like, "Hey, are you all right?" And I had headphones in my helmet, so I'm taking my helmet off. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Don't call an ambulance." And I take 1 or 2 steps, and then I put weight on my left leg, and I just hit the concrete. Don't even realize why I'm laying on the ground now. And I was like, "Okay, yeah, you should call an ambulance because clearly I have no idea what's happening.
Something's going on.
And my first
here.
thought, like, the guy gets out and he like walks me, like fireman walk, walks me to the curb and like basically plops me down.
Yeah.
I was like, I should call my mom. Like, I don't know. So
Yeah.
he's on the phone with 911 and I'm like, hey mom, I was in a motorcycle accident. She's like, that's not funny. I was like, I'm not kidding. She's like, what? And then it starts kicking in.
Right. Yeah.
She's like, are you okay? I'm like, well, I mean, I think I broke my leg, but like I'm talking to you.
Right. I think it's funny how like, like those kind of phone calls where the kids like, obviously talking normal, but like, hey, just wanted to let you know I got in an accident. And then the parent freaks out. They're like, are you dead? It's like, no, I'm talking to you normally. I'm fine.
Yes,
like,
she started just like her voice got all shaky.
Right.
And she kept saying, are you okay? And I kept saying, well, I think my leg is broken. Like that's all I could say.
Sure. Yeah.
And I was wearing jeans and all I could see was it was all wet from like my knee down. It's dark liquid. And so I'm like, I don't know if I'm like bleeding under my pants. Like I have no idea what's happening. I just know I can't put weight on it. It doesn't really hurt yet. And the guy on the phone, I can just hear him and he's like, no, yeah, he's conscious. No, he's not vomiting. And I was like, yep, might do that one. Cause like all the heat starts coming up. I'm like, nope, no, that one's coming.
Yeah.
That one's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, stuff like that where you don't realize what's happening in your body.
Right.
Like I remember I had a really bad allergic reaction, like right after I moved back here from Texas. And, I'm like, I'm dealing with it, whatever. It's just uncomfortable. I get up to go to the bathroom, and all of a sudden I'm laying on the ground. I literally just fell backwards.
Really?
Yep. And woke up on the ground, and apparently I had been in there for a while.
Really?
Because it was long enough for to ask, what happened to me, where I was.
Yeah.
This is at my dad's. And I'm like, how long was I in there? Like, it was like
which
an hour.
bathroom?
The first one. Yeah.
The one upstairs?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And when you're done with this, I'll tell you my bathroom story at your dad's. But keep going. So they're asking about you.
Yeah, and it's like who? Well, I suppose some people do spend an hour in the bathroom, but like who spends an hour in the bathroom? It's like
with no noise, no water on it or anything.
Exactly.
You're just laying there.
Nothing. Yeah. So, which is funny because tile felt good.
It does.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm sick.
Right.
Any cold flooring, like I just want to strip down to nothing and just like let
your
body take it in. Anytime I'm sick.
Right. That felt
So what
recovered
happened?
me a lot better.
Don't leave me hanging on the story.
So I had an allergic reaction to the moving boxes that I used, that I bought.
What?
So, yes. So whether it was the ink, whether there was something on the boxes, some sort of chemical, yes.
So what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Were you fine, or did you go to the doctor?
Yeah, I did go to the doctor. Yeah. So, which is trying to find a doctor when you just moved back from Texas.
This is hard.
Yeah. When you don't it's like
have anything.
calling everybody like, oh no, we're not accepting patients, not accepting patients. It's like, it's like, I don't have, I don't have a new job yet. So
you've
like,
got
I'm still technically employed by my company in Texas, but the insurance issue is still kind of like fuzzy.
Yeah.
So
I didn't have a primary till last year. I was just doing urgent care if I needed, which is very rarely. And anytime someone asks, like, who's your primary? I'm like, I don't have a doctor.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whoever you want to call. What's
Sure.
your primary pharmacy? I'm like,
yeah.
Whoever's closest.
It's weird. My situation, I have a primary who I've never seen because I see a nurse practitioner who practices under his license. So, yeah.
So my story about your dad's bathroom. It's actually it's the second day I met your dad, but it's the morning after. So I went to go to a concert with your brother, which is like the first time I met him and his friend and Joy. And so I met your dad, obviously, like when I picked everyone up. That's the first. And there's pictures of the first time meeting your dad because we're late to where we're going because he wants to talk to everyone, and the car looked a lot nicer than I have now then. So it's just me leaning on it while he's chewing my ear out. And we go to the concert. I have 0 alcohol, 0 drugs. Stop at McDonald's on the way home. Swim in your dad's pool that night. fall asleep fine. I wake up in the morning, no one's really up, and I was like, man, my stomach feels a little rough. I gotta pee. So I get up, chew some Tums, walk to that bathroom, which is one door over, go to the bathroom, get back in bed, fall asleep, wake up feeling super sick. Like out of nowhere, just feel like death. So I get up, walk to the bathroom, and just start throwing up basically right when I get in there. And of course, like you said, that tile feels excellent. So I lay on the tile for like an hour, and I'm like, well, this is like first time at this house. I can't just be in this bathroom like all morning. So like I get up and try and go back to the bedroom, throw open a trash can in there. I was like I feel like death. So I just went back to the bathroom to lay on the tile, and by then like people are waking up in the house, and it's like I'm basically a stranger. This is not my house. Your dad knew I was staying there, but it's like So Joy knocks on the door, and she's like, I got you some water and some fan. Just go back to my bedroom and don't worry about it. My parents knew I was staying somewhere else. But like all I can text them is like, hey, like I'm okay. And then I just go in there, and then I feel sick again. So I go back to the bathroom, lay on the tile, and then your dad's knocking on the door. He's like, is there anything I can get you? And I'm like, oh, this is so bad. So I get up and try and talk to him, and I'm like, look, I promise, like I'm not a drug addict. We didn't do anything last night. I'm just sick. And I think I stayed in that bathroom for like 3 hours.
Wow.
And then slept more in the bedroom. And like my sister was going to come get me and drive me home. Like I didn't even think I could walk.
Wow.
And so I was there all day till night, went home, fell asleep, was sick all the next day, was sick the next day. And this was before I started this job we're at now.
Man.
I had 1 week in between my two jobs. It turned out to be severe food poisoning. And
For McDonald's?
I don't know. That's like the only thing I can think that I ate.
You didn't eat anything at Dad's, did you?
No. And everyone in the car.
That would do it.
Everyone in the car also ate McDonald's. But it's super weird. The doctor said like if I was sick for a few more days, like they were going to have to basically admit me to the hospital or a doctor to like keep giving me fluids. But that is the second sickest I have ever been. I couldn't eat anything. Once I got home, it was so bad. I had to keep explaining to Joy. I'm like, look, I'm really sick. I enjoyed our time, but like I can't see anyone right now. For a week, it was like 5 or 6 days where I was just walking around in boxers and whatever blanket I could carry around.
Until all my insides are outside, I'm not seeing anybody.
Yeah, and that's what it was for a long time. And that was the second sickest in my life to this day.
Wow.
And it was horrible first impression on your family, apparently, I guess. I mean, I imagine so.
It turned out okay.
They turned out all right.
Maybe it was a good first impression.
I guess, but it was weird because the only thing I could think was like, your dad has just met me, and I'm so sick. Like, I was fine last night when he saw me, and now I'm dying. Like, as a parent, I would think, like, sure, they just drank too much, or they used drugs or something. I was like, this is like the one event where I was driving family members, so I didn't drink anything. Still sick. From I had one McChicken at McDonald's. That's all I had.
Got that salmonella there.
I guess. I have no idea. It was bad.
Wow.
And the first sickest I'd been was drinking muddy water in Jamaica.
Oh, why did you do that?
In the jungle.
What is wrong with you?
So.
Oh my gosh, dude.
We get off a cruise ship.
That's like top of the list. Do not do this.
It's not I'll explain it. So we get off a cruise ship, take a janky truck, or like a tour bus thing. It's like 4 or 5 rows. Through back rows and stuff, and we go to this river that's supposed to have it's called the Blue Hole. It's supposed to be a beautiful blue waterfall that you can jump into, but it had stormed the night before. So of course there's mud and probably whatever the fuck else is washing into this river from fields and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
But we're here. It's it's a waterfall. The tour guide jumps off.
Now it's a brown hole.
Goes into it. Yeah, it was. It was a brown hole. He jumps into it, and I'm thinking like, well, I forget how old I was. Maybe 16, 17, 18. I don't know. Under 20, but over 16. I was like, I'm gonna do it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks dirty, but it's probably mostly mud, I hope. And how often do you jump off a waterfall?
Right.
So we do it. Now I'm down swimming in this thing. And so is this guy, and the rest of my family is like up on this ravine. And he goes, oh, you follow me. It's like, what? He's like, we're going to walk down river. There's more we can jump off of. So one that was weird that my family was just like, all right, like, go with this.
Good luck. See you later.
Right? Go with this Jamaican and just walk down literally in a jungle.
Right? Enjoy your life with your new family.
Right? So I did, and we walked down, and there was a trail that they eventually met up with us. But there was this like rope swing off a smaller waterfall.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, okay, we shouldn't do the rope swing because we can't see where everything is, but you can still jump off. I was like, okay. And the guy's like, just watch me and jump exactly where I jump. And I was like, all right, this is...
If I die,
don't
jump there.
This is very strange. And then he's like, oh, also, when you jump, swim as hard as you can toward the edge. I was like, what is going on? And he's like, current's very strong. It's like, all right. So he jumps off. He's fine. He looks fine. He just swims to the edge. I'm like, this is easy. So I jump, and apparently the other guides next to my family go, ooh, very close to the rock. Like, but I have no idea. I'm just jumping. Like they're just guessing. So
oh no.
I land in the water, and it was horrible.
Huh.
Like I underestimated how strong this was because he made it look simple.
Sure.
So I'm just barely making it. Get to the edge. And I had maybe swallowed water, got water in my face from trying to do that. And he's like, you want to do it again? Okay. So I do it again.
Oh, no.
But this time, like, I'm pretty tired. So when I go under, it pulls me way farther down.
Huh.
But now I have to swim back. So I'm taking on water. And I think just the heat and swallowing that, we get up there and he's like, you don't look good. I was like, I don't feel. It just
man, that quickly. Wow,
yeah, like
man.
almost instantly. I started throwing up. So then this very nice Jamaican who is very tall sprints off into the jungle. And I was like, this is strange, but I'm throwing up. He brought me bottled water that I cracked open, so that was very nice. So they get back on the tour bus and they're like, all right, we're gonna go do the river float. And all I remember is just throwing up. And I get on, and my sister gives me a towel, and I'm just throwing up into this towel. My parents are sitting in front of us, and my sister's like, we can't go do this. Like, Kyle is dying. And they're like, it's fine. So we get back on this, and we're just bouncing. And it's like 120 degrees, and I'm just throwing up just constantly. And then we get off the bus at the river float, and I'm still throwing up. Like 45 minutes later, I just cannot stop. And that's when my family's probably like, okay, we'll go back.
He's not faking it.
Yeah, we'll go back. And so they drive us to the port where I'm still throwing up, where my parents are now yelling at me. They go, look, if you're sick, they're not going to let you back on the cruise ship. Like, they're going to like quarantine you. So I throw up for like another hour, it feels like. And they walk me there and they're like, you have to do this part on your own. Like, we can't be helping you. So I shakily like make it through security, make it to the hotel, or not the hotel, the stateroom or whatever you want to call it. And I slept for almost 24 hours.
Wow.
Cruise, and woke up feeling fine. But that was like, up until your dad's, that was the sickest I'd ever been. Instantly. Like you said, like it had to have been something in the water. Like it can't just be.
Yeah, you swallowed a whole turd.
A whole turd?
Yeah.
I'm thinking I swallowed some chemicals that aren't even legal here. Like the farmer's been spraying on there.
Right, yeah.
And it just got into my stomach, and it was like, we're going to get rid of it all.
Right.
Yeah, that combined with Jamaican heat and humidity was just horrible. There was no AC in any of their vehicles. There's nothing for you.
Right.
So there's no cold tile.
Yeah, and when you in heat like that, especially when you overheat, like you're gonna be puking for real. Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yep, I've done that before. Just riding my bike.
Heat exhaustion.
Yeah.
Just gave it to yourself. Yeah.
Just ride too hard and too hot of weather, and just
You see it at
puke everywhere.
If you're into track or cross country, mainly cross country because it's a long run. Like you can push through that. Like you can let your body just keep doing the physical activity, but you'll see people in the little after the finish when you're going through the chute to give them your place number. Everyone's just throwing up because you've just overworked yourself.
Right.
But for some reason, your body's just like, we're running right now. We don't feel it. It sucks, but you
I
don't
was
feel
fine
it.
until I stopped.
Yeah, you stop and it just hits you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I had it once just mowing the lawn here. It was just super hot. I felt fine, but as soon as you come in and the air is a little colder, you start getting the spins. Like your body's like, whoa.
Right.
You're really hot now.
Yeah.
Go find some tile to lay
All
on.
the emergency buttons are being pressed, switches flipped, and we're like, we're doing something.
It's the worst feeling when you get the dizziness, spin hot, like when your whole body starts getting hot.
Right.
That sucks.
Yeah.
stub your toe, anything that makes your body do those hot flashes.
Right.
That's a horrible feeling.
Yeah.
I'll take anything. I mean, I'll let you punch me in the face as long as I'm not getting that hot flash.
Yeah, that time when I was like almost septic, like I collapsed 3 times.
Really?
Trying to get to the bathroom. Yeah.
Were you getting the hot flashes from it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, it was one of those things, like, I didn't even realize I was falling until I was
on the ground.
On the ground, basically. And, I'm knocking stuff over, breaking glass. I mean, like, yeah, it was...
Straight out of the movies.
Bad. Yeah, yep.
Straight out of the movies.
Mm-hmm. Didn't hurt at all.
Well, no.
Because I'm passing out, but...
Yeah, your body's, like, basically in, like, recovery mode.
Yeah.
It doesn't care what's happening.
Yep.
You're just getting where you need to be.
Right.
I feel that.
Yep.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
We should, like, get to a happier subject here. We started going down a dark path.
So, we need to talk more about mutilated people.
Oh, yeah, it's brighten up. We gotta brighten things up.
It's a topic is near and dear to my heart.
Right? I wish anyone in the... let me see if anyone's in the chat. I want to ask, because we talked about Spider-Man. I would like someone in the chat to let us know if they're going to see it the day it comes out or what they're doing. We got someone new, Ladybug X3. She hasn't said anything. Or he, sorry. It's hard not to gender usernames.
I do feel bad for male ladybugs because it's got lady right there in the name.
Don't you find it hard, like, even when I'm playing video games, I just assume most people are men? It's just like automatically you're like, oh, screw this guy, or like, hey, I'm gonna help this guy out. Just it comes out fluently, like you just assume. I do it when I'm driving.
I have the since my Final Fantasy character is a little cat girl, I just assume the opposite. They probably all think I'm a girl.
See, that right? They assume you're a girl, but do you assume everyone else is usually a guy?
Yeah. When
you're driving, if you get cut off...
I assumed our guild leader was a guy, but, turns out she's a woman, so...
Right?
Yeah.
When you get cut off by someone in traffic, aren't you like, screw this guy?
Sure.
Like, I don't automatically assume it's a woman. It's very weird.
Well, I mean, it's, just because, men deserve hate.
Okay, is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know where you're going with that. I did not...
That's why I paused.
Oh, right. That was a long pause in my mind.
Yes, men deserve... All right, they deserve. Yeah.
I didn't know where it was going. I was like, this could be it. This is our final episode, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting
There's a clear hierarchy here. Men deserve.
Just that. It would have been funny if you just stopped and I was like, deserve what? And you're like, that's it. Just wanted to tell you. And it's like
here's the thing, because for instances like that, like I basically like self-insert my opponent. So my opponent is a reflection of me. Okay. So, which is why, and I'm male, I'm a guy, so that's why I project that persona onto my opponent. I was thinking
that too, though. But if you're a woman playing video games or driving, most of the time when I'm in the car with someone, they also assume it's another guy. It's weird that...
Well, because they're the sexist, really.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're not.
We're just drawing a hard
like
line.
I said, it's literally a projection of, your persona onto Shadow Man.
Yeah, because you say Shadow Man. The unknown person, character in the world, in my world, the world I'm living in, is always a guy. For whatever, just always a guy.
Yeah.
Even when I'm watching a movie and it's going to be a villain and you haven't seen the villain yet, I'm like, oh, what's this guy going to look like? I never jump straight to the villain's going to be a woman.
Sure, a woman? Oh, my expectations were subverted. Holy cow.
Jeremiah, you were dragging us into very sketchy territory here. I'm in danger. Our podcast is in danger.
Wait a minute. Women can be villains too?
Yeah. I think the worst villain, or my most hated watching, was in Harry Potter.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Dolores Umbridge, yes.
Like,
she did a phenomenal job.
The hate was... yes, I've never hated a character so much.
She did a phenomenal job with that character. Phenomenal.
I think if I met her in person, the actress, I would hate her. Just based on...
Right? Yeah.
It was so much hate.
So good. So good at that, yeah.
I've never... I mean, I've seen movies where you don't like the villain, but, like, I hated her.
Right.
hated her. It was like, it would rage inside of me.
Yeah.
And Walter White's wife from Breaking Bad.
Skyler.
Yes. The hatred.
Yes, exactly.
But I hate any character in any show.
I feel that same way about, I hate the like rebellious teenager, trope there. I cannot stand it. So like I was trying to watch the Jupiter's Legacy.
Okay.
And that was on Netflix. And the daughter just kept ticking me off. It's like, why are you so just the way you are? I can't stand it.
See, are you saying, I don't know if you're talking about this, but that's the character I hate, that it's like no matter what the main characters are doing, like there's always the one character that's just undoing everything and screwing something up because they're thinking.
Not just necessarily like that, but just like her own life, sure, screwing it up. But,
okay.
Just cannot, like, get her act together. It's like, I got to do all the drugs. I got to party all the parties. I got to make every bad decision I possibly can.
That goes hand in hand with the characters. Like any character that's always being selfish and screwing up. And it's like, we're progressing so nicely through the show or the movie, and it's always you.
Right.
It's always a problem with you that is stopping the flow.
Right.
That just, it's what their character is made for, to disrupt. But I hate them.
Right.
Because like we're progressing a story.
I mean, I get it. People, struggle with that, but it's hard. Like once you're in that vein, that rut, that path.
What? Nothing's addicting, Jeremiah.
There's
There's no addictions.
I'm just saying, like, they, like, I don't know. It's just like, when presented two choices, you're always going to choose the one that's bad for you, the worst one. So it just doesn't. So by law of averages would suggest that you'd at least get one of them right.
Right.
You don't. You consistently choose the wrong.
Definitely
one.
not in movies. They're always going to do the wrong one.
Yeah.
Or you could be like my buddy Travis, sorry bud, and make every wrong choice with vehicles. You just make
Hey, he could have committed. He could have,
just domino effect of bad vehicles, my friend.
Yeah.
They're all really sweet, just bad choices.
I would say that I loved my Camaro. It probably was not the right time for me to buy one.
It's perfect that you say that. I'd love to talk about the Camaro.
Yeah.
So my car currently has some issues.
Yeah.
I got snow tires on because they were 10 years old. So that needed to be done. But while I was fixing my exhaust, which is also broken, not a huge deal. Did I tell you this already?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I actually after a podcast, I realized there was spots in the driveway. So then I went back into the garage where my car was jacked up while I was working on the exhaust and was like, I'm leaking oil. Look under, there's a puddle under my car.
Huh.
Like, how have I not I've been under the car for 2 days. Why did I not notice this? It was transmission fluid, which immediately I'm like, well, shit. I thought oil was bad. Transmission fluid's even worse.
Yeah.
But then I realized it's coming from the power steering because in Dodges, they use transmission fluid instead of power steering fluid. So I'm like, all right, a little bit better, but still I got to deal with a warranty and I got to bring it in. And so I was looking at what they sell for on the marketplace. It's like $2,000 to $3,000 if you're lucky for my car, which I can't buy a car that cheap to replace it, so it's not worth it.
Right.
But then I look at Kelley Blue Book, and because the market sucks right now for buyers, they're $5,000 to $7,000 for my car. So I was like, well, now we're talking, because that's probably the highest I'll get ever going forward.
Yes.
So I submit to Carvana, and they're like, we'll get back to you, which is weird because usually they give you an instant offer.
Sure.
So I'm thinking, best case, I get $7,000. If somehow I got $7,000 for the car, what do I do? Now I don't have a car.
Yeah.
Joy's going to hate me if I'm just a bum with no car.
Well, she just did it to you, so.
Right? So I was like, well.
It's like, now it's her turn.
I got a little nest egg from selling my Corvette. So I was like, I could use that money and the $7,000 and sit okay. But I'm like, well, now what do I do? Because now I need a car, but for the next 5-6 years, I don't have a toy because I got to build that money back up.
Right.
So I start looking. My car, the Corvette, was 0 to 60 in 3.9 at its best. So that's perfect traction, perfect shifting. I for sure know I never hit it. There's no way I was launching it that hard, not breaking traction. So I'm looking at 4 seconds. I noticed that the 2016 to 18 Camaro was 4.1, 0 to 60 in an automatic. So I'm like, ooh, what else is close? There's really nothing. And the Camaro is sitting right in that pretty spot where I would daily drive it, and it's still, I mean, that's quick as my Corvette, so it's definitely within the, so that's a Camaro SS convertible or a Camaro 2SS, which you had the 2SS.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So those are the two options.
But I had a 2010. So
it's the same engine, so it's going to be really close. I mean, and if I bought a 10, few tweaks and you're right at the same speed. So I didn't know they were that quick. So
yes,
I've been looking.
I will tell you, like, I would buy that car again in a heartbeat.
I might buy one, maybe.
Yep. I mean, I didn't want to drive it in the winter, so that's why
I would have to. I would have to.
But I should have stuck with it, honestly. Like, it was a bad decision to get rid of it. But yeah, I mean, that was the thing. Like, you know, I went from that to a Buick Verano, and driving that off the lot, pressing down on the gas pedal, and nothing happening.
It broke you inside.
It did. I bawled. Like,
did you?
Yes. Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah.
It's a rough change.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel selling my first car, my Trans Am. I didn't feel it until summer comes up and I see these faster cars going, and I'm like, I don't have that.
Right.
Like, something inside of me is like, this sucks.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in my daily driving car that's not fast.
Right.
And then I buy a Corvette, and of course, every time, as very similar to your Camaro, every time you press down, the power is there.
Yes.
You don't have to worry. The power is always there.
Not overly so either. Like, it's a decent response.
It's when you want it, though.
Yes.
Like, you know that if you put the pedal all the way down,
right,
all that power is there. The sound is there. It sounds great.
Yep. Your windows for everything open up as far as, like, your timing.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I rode in my Corvette before it was mine with the owner and my stepdad. We passed 3 cars in a passing zone.
Right.
You can't do that with a normal car.
No.
You can't just decide, like, that car, 2 cars ahead of me is going really slow, I'm going to pass it.
Right. Illegal. So don't do it, but you can. Yeah.
Well, we'll just say I had time. If I wanted to hop back in, I could have. So, but why would you?
Right.
Just do them all at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, the power's there. I mean, it's what's crazy about cars that are fast like that, if you can see it, you can just go there.
Exactly.
It's just right there. You're like, I'll just go there.
Yep.
In a normal car, you're like, oh, I'm stuck here. There's no way I can make the jump. In a sports car or muscle car, it's just there.
Like, the thing I would probably have gotten in a lot of trouble for consistently was, you know, basically, you know, accelerating too quickly.
My dad has that ticket.
That was my thing.
Excessive acceleration is what they got him for. They tried giving him with street drag racing, but there's no other car.
It's like, I barely touched this pedal. You cannot tell me that I was excessively accelerating. I did not press it all the way down. So you want to see excessive accelerating? I'm gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I always used
to pull me over for that.
I used to say when I first bought the Corvette, I was like, I won't feed into that because I have nothing to prove. Like, this car it's already fast. Like, I don't have to prove myself to anyone on the road or myself. Yeah. I proved myself wrong every time I drove that. I just had to. It's like it's like a little voice in my head. It's like, there's no one here. Just go for it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the thing. When it's there, like, you gotta like, ooh, that I gotta, you know, explore this a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a little more into it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's the same every time, but every time I'm like, is it still that quick? Yeah, all right, it's still that quick. So
this was funny. I was I was taking my they call it a CCW in Texas, and was taking a class there.
That's the charge you get here.
What's that?
CCW is the charge you get for concealing a pistol without a weapon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's why that's not called it here anymore.
Ah.
Wait, no, it is called that here. I used to think it was called CPL. It's not.
It's not.
No, I believe it's called CCW here as well.
One of them. It's one or the other. Like, one of them says CPL, one of them says CCW.
Yes.
So whatever.
So ours here is that's what they charge you with, and in other states that's what it's called. To have the license. But anyway.
Yes. So anyway, do our classroom work the first half of the class, and he's like, all right, we're going to the range. It's like an hour away. It's long ways away. So he's like, you know, Don't even bother trying to follow me. You can't. And I'm
Well,
like,
it's a challenge.
I'm like, I'm driving a Camaro, dude.
What was
like
he in?
A truck. He's just a really fast driver.
Okay.
Very, very fast. And I was on his tail the whole way. And he's like, dang. It's like, no one's ever, showing up at the range right after.
Did you ever
me,
think to
with
pass him
me.
and beat him?
No.
Man, that would have been my thing. It's like, could you just give me the address? I don't need to follow you. It's fine.
Right?
I'll see you when you get there.
I'll see you when you get there.
Yeah.
He was a very aggressive driver, but I'm like, you're not getting away from me. Are you kidding me?
It's like a challenge.
Yeah. It's like, hey, look, if I'm getting pulled over, we're both getting pulled over. So
Right.
let's do this.
In all honesty, you would probably get pulled over just because of the car.
Yes.
I mean, they like pulling those cars over.
Right.
I've been pulled over
Sure.
even in my daily driver that looks fast all the time.
Yeah. And then I argue I was following the flow of traffic. The flow of traffic being the one person in front of me.
His flow. I was following that flow.
He was creating the flow, So yeah.
My grandpa, we were in Tennessee, I think. This whole trip, he drove us down there, the whole family. He's bragging. He's like, I never got a ticket ever. And he's bragging about the whole time. Well, we're going down a hill and we're going to pass someone. So he goes to pass this car, and it's a Mustang. And he's in a Trailblazer, like not trying to race it. And the cop pulled him over and asks him, why are you trying to race a Mustang? And he's trying to tell the cop, he's like, I never had a ticket in my whole life. And the cop gives him a fucking speeding ticket. And he's still,
there you go.
He's still sour about this to this day. We're getting the speeding ticket. But the cop wanted to give him a racing, a Mustang ticket.
Yeah.
I've had my fair share of almost getting drag racing tickets.
Yeah?
It would not be fun.
Yeah.
Not a fun day. That's
Right.
like 7 points because it's reckless, and then 7 points your license is gone.
Mm.
But yeah, for people who have never driven a fast car, it's just something, I don't know. Maybe that's my power. I don't want to sell people on the black market. I don't want to be a
Right.
politician. Like,
Yes, you don't need to enter that space.
no, I just want to
You're
feel.
good, you're good out there.
You guys shouldn't be in that lane, but
Right?
I don't want to.
Honestly, it's true. Like it's not for everybody, because if you are behind the wheel in a car like that, you're not comfortable with it, you're not familiar with it, you could get yourself in trouble really quick.
Or if you're overly confident, you need to.
Sure. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like
You need to
either
respect it.
overconfidence or ignorance, both of which will lead to accidents or massive amounts of tickets.
Right.
But yeah. So if
you need to respect it, and
Yes.
if you hear us talking about it, or you have friends that are into it, or you watch videos and you want to buy a fast car, I suggest driving it in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
And scaring yourself.
Yes.
I mean, you will scare yourself, but
yes.
you need to learn the
Yeah.
limits of not only yourself but the car.
Yes.
And not really the car; it's your tires.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've talked about before, about my theory on why, generally speaking, men are better drivers. It's because they do that.
They find the limit.
They
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that. Yes.
My
So-
sister was a very bad driver when she was younger because she was scared to drive.
Yeah.
And just like most things, like guns, if you're scared to hold a gun or drive a
Mhm.
car, you should not do it until you're comfortable.
Right.
Because being scared is not good.
Right.
And hesitation driving, that's what's going to get you into accidents.
Yes.
You need to be confident in
Mhm.
your ability to drive what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same with weapons, heavy machinery. If you're not confident in it,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it goes for a lot of things. Snowboarding, skiing, skateboarding. If the confidence isn't there, your body's not going to follow it. And
Right.
you're going to hesitate and get yourself hurt.
Yes.
So,
And there is a physiological like component to that too, as far as if you're getting in an accident, like if you tense up,
oh,
you're
yeah.
gonna get hurt a lot worse than if you're loose.
Oh, yeah. That's
And if
why a
you
lot of
just-
drunk
yeah.
drivers survive their accidents because
Yep.
their body's just loose.
Right.
That's why I drink right before I drive every time.
There you go. Yeah.
Every time.
Gotta get loosened
So-
up.
My funny rich people conversations, if I was massively rich, I'd build a full-size driving course in my backyard. And if we're mega rich, we're getting cars with full safety equipment. And one person at a time, you're getting hammered and driving on the track with weird obstacles. Because you're never going to go fast
Sure.
enough on a track to hurt yourself.
Right. Yeah.
And there's no one else on there for you to hurt.
right.
I just think it would be ridiculously fun and funny.
Yeah.
And also informative to see just how bad, like
yeah.
see how you can do.
Uh,
I I mean, it's private property. It's
Sure.
all
Yeah.
it's all legal, but
Yep. I had always planned on, cutting in some like four-wheeling, tracks in my dad's backyard, but never did.
no,
Yeah.
it would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
See, four-wheeling's a little different. I would never do that. I know I go up north now quite often, I would say. Would have gone a lot more if we weren't planning a wedding. I don't know. So many people drink out there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, that's really sketchy. There's like no rules. You could get hit by any other vehicle, and if you miss, you hit a tree, and there's nothing
Yes.
holding. Like, I don't
Right.
understand.
Yeah.
Same with boating.
Yeah.
Drinking and being on a boat go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
There's no lanes or real
Yes.
speed limits. It
It's very
seems
dangerous.
so sketchy.
Fall out the boat, you drown. You're drunk.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Like it's weird that in a car, at least in our state, I don't know if it's every state, you can't have anyone in the back seat drinking.
Right. No open containers.
But
Yep.
on a boat,
Yeah.
everyone but the driver can be trashed.
Yes.
A car has speed limits, safety belts, rules of the road, cops out there patrolling. A boat has none of that.
Right.
You could be on one side of the lake and be like, I'm going over there, and you just go.
Sure.
It's nuts.
Yeah. Well, my lake's no wake, so can't do that. But
Yeah, but the lake right across the street,
exactly. Yeah.
you can be, and I guarantee, I would say 80% of people that are on lakes in Michigan are trashed, even driving.
Oh yeah.
They're just trashed.
Absolutely.
They're all drunk,
Yes.
and no one cares.
Yep. I love boating. I hate the boating community. Yes.
The boating community.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
bad.
I never
But
understood spending
ever,
all day drinking on a boat. It just
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
make sense to me.
Yeah. You ever been to like some of the shops around here?
Shops.
Yeah, boating shops. Boating.
No.
No.
No. But I hate boat people, so.
It's yeah, it's annoying.
The
to
boat
say
people?
The least. Yes, it's very annoying. So.
Well, we have a connect at a boat shop now.
What's that?
We have a connection at a boat shop now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick.
Oh, is he
Best man at my wedding. Yeah, he's a mechanic at a boat place.
Oh,
so
okay.
you don't have to deal with boat people anymore.
Nice. Great.
We know him. He's not a boat person.
So
he would never buy a boat.
we were dealing with my brother's boat not starting for whatever reason. Couldn't. It was like whether it was
This last year?
it was a couple years ago. Like this last year was fine, but well, that was just one of the issues with the spark plugs.
Yeah, yeah.
Got too wet. So
That was when your dad lost a bolt in the grass and I had to find it. Drove all the way there to find it.
But anyway, so we were taking it around to different shops to have them to take a look and stop at one of them here in town, and
The one by your mom's house?
Yeah.
I would never
And-
go there.
Yeah.
Just
Don't.
passing it looks like a boat person type of place.
It is, yes. So we're inside talking to people, and of course they're giving us a little bit of attitude, and they're talking because we're like, hey, we'd like someone to take a look at the boat. And they're like,
Well, yeah, you tell them the
"Fuck
boat's a
you."
1980 and an outboard, and they're like,
Exactly.
do you want to buy a $200,000 jet boat?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like, we don't work on boats that old. That's what they told us. They're like, you can send it over to this other guy who takes difficult jobs like that. Like,
Difficult jobs.
Yes.
Very simple job. But that's the thing. Boat people, they pay this ridiculous amount of money. Most of the motors in boats, so I've learned through a mechanic, are just Chevy motors now. In newer boats, it's just basically a car motor in a boat.
Mm.
So it's all very simple work, but these are all boat people that have no knowledge.
Yes.
They did.
So anyway, that's the thing. We came out of there. Couple of sales guys are standing are leaning against the boat,
Mm-hmm.
laughing at us, saying, "What's this James Bond boat doing here?" Because it looks
Yeah.
very
Gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gold. It's like a speedboat looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, boat. So they get a call at this boat place, a home call, which automatically costs more. There's a flat rate to go to the home. So over the phone, they try and help. They go there to fix this guy's boat. He's not home. He said he drove it. Then his son drove it, brought it back, and it just doesn't start. He drove all the way there, go to crank it on, doesn't start. Check the gas is empty. That was the problem.
Oh.
No gas.
Huh.
Boat people, man.
It
irrelevant. You don't.
You put gas in the car. You don't put gas in a boat, right?
Right.
I mean, come on.
I don't know. I can't get behind the boat culture of spending that much money to use in our state 3 months maybe, and then drink and sit on your boat. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I would rather just sit on the beach or on my porch.
It really is nice though. Like, cruising over the water.
See, the wind,
that
driving
kind of
is
stuff,
nice, but
Sure.
most of these people around here, they're like, let's go to a sandbar or an edge of the
sit
lake
next to each other
and get
see
drunk.
how much we can drink. Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
And then
It doesn't. Like you have to be moving.
the boat culture is like these parents let their kids take the boat, knowing that's what they're going to do underage. I've been on several boats underage.
We never did. Like, we used to, take the boat out at my buddy's lake.
You
all
didn't?
The time. No.
Every boat I've ever been on
tube
underage, everyone's drinking.
Like we never did wakeboarding because, it was like, I don't know. I don't know why we didn't, but I wanted to. But
wakeboard?
It's
not hard. Have you ever done it?
Yes.
Okay.
But just tubing. So
if you can wakeboard, you can surf, you can skate, and you can snowboard.
My buddy just didn't want someone breaking his board or messing with it or whatever. So
I don't know how you would ever.
I don't know.
It's a piece of fiberglass with
particular
boots.
about it. So
yeah, I don't know. So if you made it this far,
set up the bar or whatever. So.
Let us know. Let us know why you hate boat culture. Why is that? Why do you keep screwing that up?
Boat culture. Yes.
Why you hate
if you're in boat culture, you know that you're the problem. So there is no redeeming it.
No. Different from wake sports.
Yeah.
Now, if you're into boat culture because you want to be doing, not you wake surfers, fuck you, get out of here. That's not. That's a whole different group of people. You also suck. But try hard line.
We're just carving into our potential audience here.
No, I don't want them. if we're just talking to each other for the rest of our lives because no boat people, I'm fine with that.
Okay. If you have a Salt Life sticker, living in freshwater lakes, you're an idiot.
Also, let me point out more idiots for car stickers. If you have a sticker of your state on your car in the state you live in, when you have a plate that says you live there, you're also stupid. I hate that.
You don't like representing?
We're in Michigan, and they have a sticker that says "I love Michigan" with the Michigan state. They're driving in Michigan with the Michigan plate. Well, no shit, you fucking love the state. You live here. We see that. You've got to.
Well, look, I visit other states. They got to know. They got to know that Michigan exists.
Right? It's on your plate.
And how great it is.
Oh, I don't get that. I mean, I don't get in general stickers on cars because I think it really ruins how your car looks. But
yes, right. Mm-hmm.
I didn't put the ones that are on my car on there, but I have super tinted windows and the stickers are black, so you probably don't even know they're there most of the time.
Right.
Ugh, hiccups. So yeah, don't put a state sticker on your car.
Yep. Right.
Team's different, right? If you're a big sports guy and you live in Michigan, you want a lion sticker for whatever reason, like at least it's not the state you live in. It's very weird to like represent your state.
Yeah.
Team is still a little weird, but I can get behind it. You showed up today wearing a Red Wings hoodie.
It's true. Yeah.
I wear Red Wings gear all the time.
Yeah.
So I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put state sticker. Don't put Salt Life. Don't. I can maybe get behind a UP sticker. Michigan's very weird. We're almost like two states.
Yes.
So if you're driving down here with a UP
that's
sticker,
limited edition Michigan, right?
Yeah,
there.
that's like, that's a little. That lets people know.
Sure.
I also hate the running stickers. I ran. It's very weird that you put 13.1 on there to like show people you ran a half marathon. Or it's a half marathon. You ran a half marathon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not something to brag about.
Right.
Very strange. You're like, I did a half marathon.
Not even a whole one. I did a half one.
No one cares. Even if you have the whole marathon, it's very weird.
Sure. Yeah.
It's not something to brag. Like, I ran.
Yeah.
Very lame brag.
Well, I mean, I get that. People that, take up running as a hobby, like that is a significant accomplishment.
It is.
For them.
Yes. The rest of the world doesn't think so. I was a runner for many years. Yeah. It is very significant to run a marathon, even a half marathon.
Yes.
1 mile, if you can run 1 mile straight, you're farther than like 80% of the United States.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And not even, I don't care how fast you ran it.
Right.
If you can complete a mile,
yes,
that is leagues beyond the
right.
average
yes,
human being.
right,
which is nuts.
mm-hmm.
When I learned that after whatever census that came out, I'm like, what? But I was a runner, so hearing
Right.
1 mile is like, we jog a mile to warm up.
I'm still asleep that first mile. Yeah.
Yeah, like what?
Yep.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Most people can't make it a whole. That's not that far.
Right.
I mean, I would say, for someone who's very new to running or never run, I mean, you could do it in like 15 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
20 minutes if you're walking, jogging. That's not that long.
Yeah.
20 minutes to go 1 mile. If you can't do that,
That's a pretty slow clip right there. Yeah.
but
20 minutes.
right? I'm just saying, but
yeah.
like as someone who's never done it should be able to throw some shoes on
Sure.
and go a mile. So the fact that
Oh, yeah,
80%
yeah.
of people can't is unreal.
Hmm.
Really speaks to who we are as a nation and what problem we have with health.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because 1 mile, you could probably walk a mile at the mall.
Yeah.
Just going from stores, it's not that far.
Right.
Probably sounds good. You've done, how far were you guys going 2 summers ago?
What was it? Like 2.8, something
See?
like that. 3 miles. Something,
I mean, you're breaking a
something.
sweat, but it's not like death. You're not,
Right.
it's not like the end of the world. You're not going to die.
Mm-hmm.
That's almost triple what an average citizen of the U.S. can make it.
Yeah.
1 mile, 4 laps around a normal track, people. Look at it that way. 4 circles.
Yep.
All right, you want to talk us out?
Okay. All right. So that wraps up episode 14 of Zero Intentions podcast. So I've been, why do I keep saying that? I've been Jeremiah. I'm always Jeremiah. I'm Jeremiah. This is Kyle. As always, if you'd like to see the rest of our episodes, you can see the entire backlog of episodes on YouTube. Send them over there after they've premiered live here on Twitch. Look over there, leave us a comment, like, share, subscribe, do all the things that you're supposed to do and that I'm supposed to say to tell you to do.
Right.
It's the magic phrase. You got to say that.
You have to.
Now it has to be like smash that like button. That's
or YouTube won't put you on.
Exactly.
That's
Yep. You have to comply with the correct nomenclature to have your
Right.
video approved.
Yeah, and please leave a comment. We had King Ken Tank. That's the 3 words that are in it. I don't know how you say it. Anyway, if he stuck around, we would have definitely conversed, let him be a part of this, steer us away. If you leave comments, we'll look back at them. We really would love to get anyone involved. I don't care how little you want to be involved.
Right.
And Jeremiah brought
the
up.
floor's open. We're welcome you to leave a comment, join the conversation.
We are looking to, I mean, we've said for our subscribers, we'd like, if you stay loyal to us if we ever get a following, not when, if we did, we'd like to do a t-shirt or
something.
a decal, something for you. Jeremiah had brought up maybe a prize wheel.
Right.
For people who maybe participate in the chat. So we're open.
We'll do something. We'll get there and then make it, fun to be here and participate.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to get rid of everyone. If you just like to listen and not participate, that's fine. We're
That's
still
not
here
allowed.
For that. Yeah.
Never come back.
But we definitely want to be one of
joking.
the channels, one of the podcasts that you can be a part of. It's not, and I don't care if we have one person or 1 million people. I mean, we will be as involved as you want to be.
Right.
We'll match your level. So.
Right. It'll get a little crazy once all 10 million people are chatting all at once.
That's all right.
But, hey,
there are zero
let us
intentions.
handle it. Let us handle that.
We have zero intentions. So if you see us start the podcast, no one's in here, and we're talking about Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland, and you come in and you're like, I like chicken wings. Boom. Let's talk about chicken wings. We'll talk about chicken wings with you. Sure. Distract
us. We don't write a show. What do you call it? Notes or there's something about that. Like it's a specific term about like what you plan, the topics you plan to hit.
Your
on.
rundown.
Something like that.
What's the word?
I don't
you
know.
don't remember the word now?
What?
Yeah. Do you know the word?
Do I know the word?
Yeah.
I don't know if I do. Honestly, it's a show business term of it's not a Bible. It's something along those lines.
Yeah.
So, but basically, it's your list. These are the topics I'm gonna hit. We don't do that. We don't write it down.
Well, of course we don't do that. We don't assert power over women or diddle kids, so we're not in the show business.
Exactly.
We aren't show business, and we're not willing to do that.
Yep, they won't let us in.
Yeah. We're not rich, and we don't commit crimes, so we're not we're not fit or worthy. Yep. So anyway, yes, everything he said.
Yeah. So
do that all.
Like I said, we're open to talking about whatever topics you want to talk about. I mean, the only reason we talk about the topics we talk about now is because that's what we're interested in, and that's what we tell each other. Hey, I want to talk about this, and so that's what we talk about. So,
that's it.
But we may not be knowledgeable about the topic you want to talk about, but hey, we'll take it. We'll take a stab in the dark about it, and
he'll talk to you about. I'll fight you about it.
Exactly.
I'll fight your opinions.
We'll give you all of the wrong data you want.
I have a cell phone with me, computer, so we'll look it up.
Yeah.
Even if you threw a video in there, you're like, hey, have you seen this video? We'll watch it live. We'll do it live. All right.
But if you get us in trouble, we will find you, and we have resources to do so.
We do.
I'll stab you a few times.
We have a Grogu. Grogu is here.
Yeah.
We'll drink his blood and we'll get you.
But if you want to genuinely participate, and then definitely do that. Yeah.
Oh yes, we will block all troll and spam comments.
I have, yes. I'm not leaving the door wide open, completely open. Right. Definitely don't tolerate trolls or spams. Trolls and spams.
Are we open to let's see, self-promotion? Like if someone's like, hey, I'm in a band.
I would run it by us first, honestly. Like I wouldn't mind giving someone a shout out.
Right.
But don't be rude about it.
But we would comment on it, right? If someone's like, hey, I made this video of a trailer breakdown. I mean, we would watch it and talk about it, right? Maybe. Depends. On how they
really
go about
depends on how you present it, really. I mean, because like I said, there's a lot of people that like especially the Instagram, people where they're like,
okay,
check out my Instagram.
I'm not going to look at your Instagram page.
Right.
But if you have some form of media that could actually draw a conversation out of us.
You've created something of value. Yes, I do want to take a look at that. I'm interested in that. Yes. I'm
a self-proclaimed musician. He is definitely an artist, so we would definitely look at artwork and music.
Sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
I will warn you that if I think it's bad, it's gonna.
Yes, you'll get an honest opinion.
Yes.
So, just be prepared.
Just watch our previous videos. You'll understand.
Anyway, so long wrap up to say thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. And I was joking around a lot in this, but I know I definitely hit some offensive topics. But our phrase around here is
men deserve.
Men deserve.
Is
deserve.
that the phrase?
Whatever comes next, just keep that. Remember that.
That's not our motto at this podcast.
Men deserve. We could change it. Yes, men deserve. Yes.
Oh God, we would get some participation in the chat.
There you go. Hey, bad press is good press or something.
All right.
Right.
Hit us with the tagline.
Yes. So, Zero Intentions Podcast. If we said anything that offends you, we suggest you zip it.